Welcome back. I got a lot of questions from students about verb tenses. So everybody knows past tense and present tense and future, but there are some hard ones too. And I want to give you an example. We see a kitchen over here, a messy kitchen, and a little boy. And he made a big mess, so his job today is going to be to clean the kitchen. We might say, when our guests come over at 7, Doug will have cleaned the kitchen. Now, students will ask me, what does this will have? Because we have, I have cleaned the kitchen, I will clean the kitchen, but what's I will have cleaned the kitchen? And to study that, we're going to have to study all of the tenses. So I want to start with the easy ones, and then I'm going to explain all of them. All right, let's try it. We'll start with this one. Doug cleaned the kitchen. We know that, past tense. So a good way to practice this is to add some time at the end of the sentence. Doug cleaned the kitchen when? Last night. And then you check it and you see, does it make sense? Yeah, that's good. Doug will clean the kitchen tomorrow. That's the easy one, right? Doug is cleaning the kitchen right now. Right, that means right now, exactly now. Doug cleans the kitchen every Saturday morning. These can be confusing because both of these are present tense, right? This is present progressive, and this one is present, but it's a habit. That means usually, always, every week. So now we have the 4 easy ones. And notice when I pronounce them, I pronounce the nouns in a really strong sound, but the verbs are weak. So I say, Doug cleaned the kitchen last night. Doug will clean the kitchen tomorrow. What are my nouns? Doug and kitchen. We practiced that in our last lesson. Those are my strong sounds. Let's try another one. Doug has cleaned the kitchen. Or sometimes when I'm talking, I squeeze these. Doug's cleaned the kitchen. What does it mean? When? Doug's cleaned the kitchen already. And we use that when we're saying, the action is finished. So we could use past tense, but sometimes we use this perfect tense, has cleaned the kitchen. And it means it's finished. Or we say, Doug's cleaned the kitchen once. And sometimes we use that for an experience. You can say, I've been to Disneyland. That's my experience. In English, you have to guess, is that once in my life or is that already today? We have 2 different ways to do it. If I say, I've visited Paris, what do you think? Probably once or many times, but not today. But if I say, I've eaten breakfast, you can guess that I'm saying, I've eaten breakfast already today. So you have to guess based on the meaning. How about this? Doug's been cleaning the kitchen. And we have the ing. It's progressive, right? Doug's been cleaning the kitchen for 2 hours. That means still. He's still cleaning the kitchen. But we say has been cleaning because it shows a continuous amount of time. From the past until the present. Or you could say since 2 o'clock. Right? We add time that shows a continuing amount of time. Doug had been cleaning the kitchen. This is a hard one. Cleaned the kitchen is past. But if we want to talk about something before the past, we say had been cleaning. So I might say Doug had been cleaning the kitchen for 2 hours when I arrived. Arrived is past, right? But he had been cleaning before that, so it's before the past. And we usually use that tense when we also have a past tense verb in the sentence. And we want to show 2 different times, the past and before the past. And then this confusing one, Doug will have cleaned the kitchen. We talked about that. Doug will have cleaned the kitchen by 7. And that means now the kitchen is a mess. Doug will clean the kitchen, we know. And at 7 o'clock, we can say Doug has cleaned the kitchen. So it's a feeling like at 7 o'clock, he has already cleaned the kitchen. But that's in the future. So we say will have cleaned the kitchen. Right. And it's a confusing thing. We need to practice it a lot. If you listen to me, it's not good practice. The best practice is if you can try it. So on our website, I'm going to give you some activities for that. First, I want to review. Last time we did lesson 2. So we need to review those skills. We already talked about strong nouns and weak verbs. But I want to look at some student work. Why do we review? We review because after a day we forget some information. We need to review, and we're back up to complete information. We're going to forget more and more. We need to review. And so every few days we're going to review the same skill. And if you keep doing those lessons with us, you can review for 1 minute or 5 minutes, and that boosts your skills back up. So, student work I told you about. Last time we watched a video, and it was this video of Charlie Chaplin. So I got a great example, a paragraph. We're going to read it, and we're going to talk about some skills that we learned in our last lesson. So, Charlie Chaplin was cooking a dinner for his friend. So was cooking is past, and it's a continuing action. Unfortunately, the dinner was just a boiled old shoe. After he was finished with cooking that shoe, he put it on the table, and he was ready to share it with his friend. So we have subject, verb, object, and then we have a place on the table. And now we have subject and a verb, ready to share it with his friend. We have with his friend adds more information. At first, he gave his friend the bottom part of the shoe. So we have subject, verb, object, object. And that's that kind of verb, it can take two objects. And we call it a two-object transitive verb. You might remember transformers. We say trans means change. So two objects can change this verb. It's a very funny video I had to watch a couple times. Here I would say we need an object. I had to watch it a couple times. And some verbs need an object. So when I say, today I watched, you say, watched what? We need an object. But overall, it was a great paragraph. So if you didn't send one last time, send one today. We have a video you can watch and you can practice your skills. Okay, we also had a picture and we did a speaking activity. So I asked you guys to record your voices and send me your speaking. Let's listen to one.
Mr. Bananas arrived at the supermarket. When he saw his little brothers, the bananas, hanging and for sale, he started crying because they were gonna be apart to each other and he will miss them when they're bought. So he started crying, and after that he relied on the...
Alright, I thought this was a great recording, and funny too, because we looked at a ridiculous kind of funny picture, and so it's great that the speaker used her imagination. Let's look at the grammar here. Mr. Banana arrived at the supermarket. So we have subject and verb, but we don't use an object. We don't say arrived himself, or arrived that. No, we just arrived. Mr. Bananas arrived. Then we have a place at the supermarket. When he saw his little brothers, the bananas, hanging and for sale, he started crying. So we have subject, and then we have verb. Started crying, but we don't have an object. Started crying what? We don't need an object. This is a verb that doesn't need one because they were going to be apart from each other. Here I'd say from each other. Now we say close to, but we say apart from. That's a common preposition. So we also say married to and divorced from. All right, so from is away. I thought it was a great recording. And the student used a lot of that natural pronunciation. She used gonna when we said going to. She also squeezed some words, which is great. When he saw, we say when he saw, when he. We don't say when he. We use strong nouns. Mr. Bananas arrived at the supermarket. All right, and weak verbs like arrived. So great work. If you didn't record one last time, record it today. I'd love to hear it. And then email me for a review. Then I can send you an email back. So on our page, when you go to lesson 3, you're going to find review. Review is when you try your skills from last time and you use them. Learn, you learn new material. Practice, you practice it with me. And I show you how to use it in real English. Create, you're going to create your own work, writing and speaking. And then 100% review. Quick activities that are going to help you boost back up to 100%. Like 1 minute or 5 minute activities. So let me show you the site. When you go to this, lesson 3, you're going to find the sections review, learn, practice, create, and 100% review. So enjoy it. Good luck with it. And I hope to read your work and listen to your work soon.